Hi, my name is Byung-Jun Kim. I'm the professor of the public administration at Kookmin University. I'm glad to have a lecture today for key issues and strategies for successful implementation of a digital policy. The first module is about how we can nurture ICT experts and job creations. Through this chapter, I will introduce a key issue and strategies for successful implementation, especially based on Korean cases, and then we can discuss how these strategies, approaches are making the case for nurturing ICT experts in the era of new emerging ICT technology. And as well as I will try to explain what job creation for national development. These lessons could be the milestone for other countries, especially developing countries. So whoever want to enhance their capability of the human capital as well as educational basis, we're going to learn something from Korean experience. Let's look at the first slide. Before we start the lecture, I would like to emphasize some of the course objectives. First one, throughout this course, we can understand the key issues on the topic of today's lecture. How we can develop the expert, and then that expert can contribute to job creation at the national level. And second objectives is to understand the key strategy for those nurturing ICT expert and the job creation. Then lastly, we're going to understand the course of the advanced policy solution for nurturing ICT experts and job creation. Then also we're going to lesson from Korean cases, and also we have what is the system approach in Korea, and then finally we're going to what still remain in the future challenges in Korea related to the nurturing ICT experts and job creation. Today's course structure consists of the 5 parts. First part, we will try to understand what is the background of those challenges, and then second, how we can develop the digital solution for overcoming those challenges. And third part, we're going to discuss how we can develop the policy strategies, and then part 4 will be how we can upgrading to educational systems and generation future job. Especially this topic of this lecture is related to the educational system and then creating the jobs. So that's why we talk about how we can utilize the existing systems, upgrading for the future. And then finally, we're going to summarize what we learned today. Let's look at some of the background with this picture. As you can see that there's a wanted post to how AI experts compared to the job opening, but a job seeker is less than that. So the gap between posting the job and then search for the job is getting wider and then increased over time. So this is one of the example. Artificial intelligence is one of our leading technologies, but we compared to the expectation to having an expert in the labor market, but there's actually the expert is quite lag behind to satisfy the needs of the market. So we see that those gap right now, and that challenge is not only some country, but overall global level we have the challenges. But Korea has quite an interesting story. As you can see that in 1953, Gangnam is a south side of the capital of the South Korea, Seoul. The Gangnam is probably very well, right now it's very famous because of the song Gangnam Style. In 1953, it's right after Korean War, there was a 3 years of war in Korea. There was nothing there. So as you can see that there is nothing in the Gangnam area. And also our income level is only $67 per capita income. That means we are the second poorest country at that time. But after that, in 2021, right now, Gangnam looks like this. It's the most developed city, and then our capita income is over 30,000, and also our GDP is 1.64 trillion US dollar. It is a miracle. We can say that miracle. That's why we say that this is a miracle of the Han River. Han River is a center of liver in Korea. So, but a fundamental, the reasons how we can make this development is because of the education. So we're going to talk about how we can nurturing the ICT expert and the creating job is related to the education. So Korea has a quite exemplary country to how you can utilize the educational power to make the development. So right now, the future society changes based on this emerging technology. For example, data and network, and also the artificial intelligence. So that's why we can make the acronym like a DNA, data, network, and AI. These are infinitive expansions of the computing power. So that's why traditional boundary between the machine and human is blurring. So we not only only focus on like a human resource capital, like the Han River Korea is developed from the nothing to the developed country right now. But future will be without these technologies, this machine side of the attentions. Without those area, we couldn't see any development. So the future changes like this. So digital solution is inevitable things for the future development. So it is not just one other factor, environmental things. There is core factors to make the developments. So with the technological advancements, socio-economic environment also has lots of the challenges. There's lots of challenges, for example, like increasing elderly populations, and also there's a lack of the environmental resources, like energy resources crisis and the climate changes. All these challenges with the technologies advancements, we will have face the new society. There's a social and also the educational and all other economical environmental is a new things for the compared to the before. So future work environment is more difficult than before. But we have two directions. One direction is only focus on how we can creating the job, or how we can directly deal with the machine-based productivity improvement side. Then eventually we lose the quality of job. So we are more focused on expansion of the net innovation. So innovation itself. So human-based innovation is more important than before. So sometimes because new challenges came from the technological advancement, but if we only focus on technological advancement, then we lose what is important. That is a human-based innovation. So probably nurturing new technology experts, we have to look at back to the basic important things. So we're gonna make the balances between how we can those technology side and also human-based innovation. So Korea has many developed new policy strategies. As you can see that we have a very potential compared to the other country. We have a very higher educational competitiveness in the among young people, and also our advanced technology industry. We have a market share is a quite good status, and also we have a smartphone penetration rate is quite higher than other country. So our policy export is more focused on how we can leveraging all these positive factors with some policy experts. So we will develop many policy plan, start from the master plan, and also we structuring the steering committees, and then eventually make all implementing that policy with the meaningful detailed policy strategies. So to making the high level of the experts in the labor market, it is a start from from the beginning. Means lower grade elementary school, even that early stages, we encouraging to the students has some of the inquiry on their new software or AI, something like the emerging technology. So we kind of improve the interest among the lower grade elementary school student. Then higher grade elementary school and middle school improve their basic required capability. So expanded mandate software education. So right now we are in the previous curricular in the education system, but we will revise with the mandatory software after 2022. Then higher school and beyond, we are very much developed a more deep learning system. For example, software and artificial intelligence center high school, we expanded the number of the schools. So as you can see that there's a many number of schools developed it right now. So Korea, this kind of effort, we can say that part of the Korean New Deal. Probably you learned what is the Korean New Deal in the previous lecture, so I don't want to repeat it what it is. But as you can see that the Korean New Deal, the rock bottom line, the baseline, there's a stronger safety net. That part is related to the employment and the human resource investments. So I'm going to talk about that part. So employment safety, social safety net part, it is try to protect those who are particularly vulnerable in times of a crisis, especially pandemic right now, how we can build the stronger and the tighter employment and the social safety net. So eventually we invested that government money to creating a decent job and then build some of the safety net. That's why all candidate for the job market, those can develop their skill in the what the market needs, especially in the emerging technology area. So these employments probably based on how we can well design for new employment insurance. So those protection to protect the whatever vulnerable future laborers, they can protect it and then they can learn from the new system. So probably those covered by the insurance, as I mentioned, that new promotion scheme has two different types of a program. One is a job search promotion subsidies. The other one is an employment success package program. So whoever even right now is searching new job because of the technology changes and then crisis such as a pandemic, probably job seeker need to learn the new skill. Then when they training themselves and also searching the job, they have a support from the government. There's a sort of a social safety net. Then eventually they successfully get a job in those area, the advanced technologies area. Then they also get some success package program. That's why they have quite successfully, preparing the new job market. And then even after that, they continue to develop their skill. So government try to help the new employee to labor market, those who look a new position that I mentioned that. And then innovating work environment and industry safety standard, also very important. So not only searching the candidate, but an employer also make the better environment to the job seeker to find a decent job. So training part is very important. So you can see the number of some figures here. There's a government through this Korean New Deal So we will kind of, for example, like 100,000 individuals on AI and software, and then 20,000 individuals in the green integrated field. There's also related to some of the green technologies and then green engineering. So those will be important area for the future development of national development. So we will investment the human resource on those area. So, and also we kind of restructuring the job training system, current existing system, to the future oriented. So we increasing the curriculum for satisfied with the SMEs, a small and medium sized enterprise, and then those training system will be very well matched with what needs in the job market. And also we will try to increase accessibility to digital infrastructure for rural residents and the vulnerable people. So marginalized group, sometimes because of the lack of the infrastructure, they couldn't get any, for example, like online learning opportunity, they cannot enjoy it. So we will support that. So that's why we will build some new future labor force. So all in all, these efforts, eventually we can improve the social safety net system throughout that social net safety net system, protecting vulnerable and victimized social classes, and then they can get a decent job, but also they are more what the job market needs. They have a well prepared for the ICT area, and also these efforts is kind of not only supporting the job seeker, but consolidating the foundation of creating the quality job. Because one side we well prepare the job seeker and laborers, but the other side we creating the quality job. So those innovative effort and how we can high value added service industry we can develop, and then also creating a better innovative environment in the job market. So these are two important goals. Hopefully through the upgrading the educational system and then generating future job, that's why we can make achieve what we expected in the future. So these are summary, and then very important we have to understand what we discussed so far. Current word is entering the new era of the so-called digital transformation. So revolutionary digital technology such as artificial intelligence or fifth generation networking or Internet of Things and cloud computing will be the key means for the national development. So also overcoming the pandemic crisis should be the highest policy priority for the getting back to the normal growth path among all countries. So to nurture innovative ICT experts and then create new jobs to achieve those goals, we need to think of the following four important things. First, we need to create an environment where people can exercise their imagination to the fullest and work together to take on new challenges. As I mentioned before, there's a new challenges not because of the only technologies transition or transformation, but also there's a unprecedented the pandemic. Also, we have pushed us for accepting the new technologies faster than ever before. So, and also that's why we needed to support private sectors to nurture ICT experts so that the public and private sector work together to create a new job for national development. These all effort is not one side or one way from the government to the public or to the private sector. It is a collaboration among this public and private sector. We can work together, make a strong partnership, and then collaborative structure to government provide the safety net to what is job seeker to retraining and then preparing themselves to become a wanted labor in the market. And the market also make the decent and then quality jobs, creating with the partnership with the governments. And third, we need to provide opportunity for everyone to learn about the emerging digital technology. As we discussed before, it is a start from the very early stage, like for example, like early stage of the elementary school. So to future generation also we teach the new emerging digital technologies. At the same time, also ordinary citizens also needed to learn new digital technology because traditionally there's only marginalized group like disabled people or elderly people will be the kind of victimized from the digital divide. But right now, so even the ordinary citizens has a new emerging technologies and make themselves is a quite vulnerable group, so they couldn't understand how to use it. But this is right now eventually very survival essential skill. So every citizens have to learn. So governments need to provide the opportunity for everyone. And lastly, we need to develop the digitally transformed government that enhance the innovative technology by sharing and interactions. Previous of all three core needs, without the last things like without reforming the governments or transform the governments, become a facilitator, become more open, how enhance their way of working to making this more active interaction with the private sector and the citizens, then we can achieve what we expected, the future better job, and then also we can create the new jobs in the future. So all in all, we're gonna kind of review what is the importance for the nurturing ICT expert and then creating new job in Korea. So Korean experience, I hope it is helpful to understand what in Korea, and also this example will be also helpful to your country. Thank you very much.